Okay, here we go. So tonight we're reviewing our task list. This is something that you want to be doing every single day. If you miss out on different bits and pieces of it, it doesn't roll as smoothly. And you'll find that if you're missing out on something, it's probably going to show up in your enrollments more than anything. And when you're doing everything consistently on a daily basis, you're going to find your enrollments go up, your confidence goes up, your engagement goes up, absolutely everything goes up. So what I'm going to do is share my screen with you, and this is going to be our daily task list. So like I said, we want to do this every single day. So the first thing you want to do is show yourself making or using a product on Instagram and Facebook stories. So facts tell, stories sell, include a poll or swipe up option. So a great thing, what I like to do is I will create all my stories and play them in Instagram first, and then I will share them over to Facebook. So you don't have to do them in two places. Save yourself some time. You can link your accounts. It just makes life easier. So this is where I absolutely encourage you, if you haven't found a product or a few products that you absolutely love and it's a part of your lifestyle, make sure you find something that you love, because you want to be in your stories consistently every single day, sharing yourself using a product. So you're going to feel like you are repeating yourself a lot, but when you're doing your whole task list, you're going to find that you're going to have constant new eyes on your feed. And you just want to make sure that the people who are seeing it consistently, because not oftentimes do people order something the first time they see it, right? So like you can be on Instagram and an ad pops up and then you click on the ad because it seems interesting. And then all of a sudden that ad is constantly following you and you're getting emails for it and it's just showing up as more ads. That's what we want to be. We want to be in the back of everybody's mind, because even if they're not ready to purchase a product, for example, the keto coffee, chances are they will be, or they're going to get curious about it the more they see you use it. And you're going to get excited about it the more you use it, because you're going to see results, you're going to feel results. Whatever the product is that you decide to go for, just get creative with it, have fun with it, share yourself making it, share yourself speaking with it. And I'm going to share with you guys a link that I love to use when I'm putting my slides and information together, because I always say we are the professionals in this business. So we want people to feel like they're being taken care of and that you actually know what you're talking about. And this is a way to do that. So when I'm talking about a specific product a lot, and you guys can make a habit to do this every couple of days, is pick a different product to learn about. But I'm going to drop a URL in the chat here. So this is the It Works Product Coach. And what I love about it is it's going to show you all the products that are available. I'm just going to make sure, oh, there we go. Make sure everybody's getting in on this. All the products that are available on the entire world is in here. So I know we got some Australia, we got some Canada, we got some USA on here. But this is one of my favorite websites because it gives you all the info about the product, how it's used, but also some really cool benefits about it. And if you really want to start figuring out all the things with your products, I like to go into the ingredients list and I will just Google benefits of for each of those, like maybe 5 of them, and talk about that, because then you start getting some different information to share with the people who are watching your stories, and you might engage with them a little bit easier. So instead of just always showing yourself just making the coffee, get in there and be like, I have some really cool ingredients in here, and here's like 5 of the ones that have some awesome benefits, and this is this and this is that. And I always share this with my girls, but if that's something that makes you feel nervous and you're like, I have no idea, like I would black out, what you want to do is just get some sticky notes, write down those little notes, prop your phone up and put them on either side and just read it off until you're comfortable with it. When I was getting started, that's what I used to do. And it just got me from A to B, and you get so comfortable with talking about it that it just starts to roll off the tongue later. Okay, so moving on, make a post about your personal story, past, present, future blessings. So just getting started, I know you guys don't have a story where it's like, I'm making all this money and I was able to pay off my entire credit card and blah, 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 whatever it is. You don't need to have a huge story for that to touch your life. Like maybe that's what attracted you to come into this business, but you know that it's baby steps to get to that point. So share about where you came from, and maybe you weren't struggling with where you came from. Maybe you were struggling, but you can talk about how you wanted extra cash to be able to do A, B, C, and D, whatever it is, or how it's a blessing to be able to pay for your groceries or pay for your gas or be able to pay for date night. And then talk about where you want to go in this business. I'm so excited. I'm going for this rank. And because I'm going to hit this rank, that's going to allow me to do this. And always make it a invite at the end of sharing your story where it's like, maybe you connect with my story a little bit. Maybe you want a little bit extra. Please drop an emoji in the comments if you want more information, or send me a private message or whatever it is. So you want to be relatable. And a lot of times something that I will do when I'm sharing my stories is people that are, you're going to have a lot of conversations with people who have fears and they have, whatever is going on in their life. Maybe they miss their spouse because they have to work so much, or their kids because they have to work so much. And you can talk about that with yours if you have children and that's something that you want to do. Is I am so excited that I get to build a business while my kids are playing on the playground, or I'm so excited that I'm building a business where I'm going to be able to come home to my babies, and that's what I'm working for. What like you want to pull on heartstrings, but by doing that, you want to look inward and see what you're relating to with this business and why you said yes, and start talking about that more. So now we're going to get into, this is so important to do. It's engaging with people. So you can go to on Facebook and on Instagram. You want to make sure you're doing this every single day. But when you go to, let's say, Instagram, for example, you're going to click on your following and your followers. You can do it for both, but go through the first 25 and just make sure to engage. And by engage, I mean go like, go comment, do all the things. But something else that I like to do when I'm adding new people and they add me back specifically, and not everybody does this, but it's a game changer. So for example, I'm going to go to my followers. Let's say I'm talking to this girl, for example, and I'll go to her profile. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that I continue to engage with her, because I'm not going to tell someone to join my team or buy a product as soon as I add them, right? They would unfollow you or block you very quickly. So what I'm going to do is click on her first profile, and then you're going to see here, there's this little flag. It's a bookmark. You can click on that little bookmark at the bottom corner on the opposite side of the like, and then you can hold it down, and there's something that will say save to. So if you click the little plus sign, what's going to happen there, I just want to make sure nobody's in the wait room. Okay, we're good. If you click there, if you don't have any folders, you can create a new folder, but I like to do potential customers, potential distributors, just potentials, and you add them to that. Because when you go engage, make sure that you are engaging on these 25, 25, 25 list, where it's 25 on Instagram, 25 on Facebook. But you can do this both on Facebook as well as Instagram. Add them to a file, so that when you go to engage that next day and every day, you just go in there and you make sure that they haven't posted something new that you missed out on, or whatever the case is, because those people are your hot leads. So if you have so I do this for somebody where I'm like, they would be perfect for this business, so I'm going to add them to that folder. If I have a conversation with somebody about product, I'm going to add them to my potential customers folder. And maybe they're not going to purchase right away for whatever reason. I'm going to keep them in that folder, because I'm going to ask them to do host to post, which we'll go over shortly. Or I'm going to ask them, or just engage on their profile, so that they never forget who you are. I've been in the business now for 4.5 years, and I've had so many customers through the years come to me and be like, I've been watching you for a year, or I've been watching you for 2 years, or however long, and they finally order, or they finally join your team. So it's so important to stay consistent, but it's so important to continue to engage on those people's profiles, because they'll keep seeing your posts and you're just always going to be in the back of their mind, kind of like those Instagram ads and Facebook ads. So if you don't know how to do that on Facebook, your leader is probably going to teach you how to do this when it comes to host a post. But so for example, let's say that she's already my customer, but if she wasn't, I would click on these 3 dots, and then you can click on save post. So 3 dots, save post. If you hold it down, you're going to have new collections pop up, or collections. So if you don't already have one, you can do potential customers, you can do potential distributors. So do it for both of them. Make it a habit to make sure you're engaging with these people. These are hot leads for you, so you want to make sure that you're taking care of them. So share someone's corporate approved pictures. What I'm going to do here is share. This is Taylor Kaufman's awesome Instagram page where she gives you so much. I'm going to come back to the chat. There's just so many incredible stories that are pre-made for you that has all kinds. Oh, I'm just letting more people in here. Sorry. Those pre-made stories. So when you go and you want to take a pre-made story, this is something that I see a lot of people forgetting to do, but just so you look a little bit more professional. So this is Taylor's page. And just 1 second here. So this is Taylor's page, and what you would do is, my screen back. These are all highlights. So in the highlights, these are all pre-made stories. So whatever you want to talk about that day. So for example, I'm making coffee. So once I'm done making my coffee stories, you want to go and find some coffee highlights. So I'm just going to look for it. Actually, I don't want to keep you guys for too long, so I'm just going to pretend I found it. Okay, so let's say this was it. You're going to see that it's playing. That example, there's only a couple there. Okay, let's say this was it. You don't want to just screenshot. What you want to do is hold down the screen. That's going to take away the little highlight buttons at the top. You're going to screenshot that, and then what you want to make sure you're doing is you're clicking on it, and you're automatically cropping out the time and the dead spots. And then you're saving that, okay? So when you post it, it looks professional. You don't have someone else's clock. You don't have all the things. So just double check that you're doing that. If you haven't done it, you can easily go to your camera roll and edit those. That's simple to do. Okay, so moving on, what you want to do is message 10 people about the customer option. Use your poll from the morning morning or host to post. So what you can do here is when you're creating those stories in the morning or in the afternoon, whenever you're creating stories about a product, you can have a poll at the end of it. And I always do positive polls. It's never yes and no. It's always yes and info. So people are clicking on that. And yes, you're going to have people who accidentally click on it because you might put it in an awkward spot that when people are clicking through your stories, they're going to click your poll. That's okay. The way I respond to my poll every single time, so it's not awkward, is, hey, I saw you took part in my poll. Were you looking for more information on whatever it was that I was just talking about? So super simple, non-awkward. You're not attacking them because you're excited for a sale. And they'll say yes or they'll say no. And if they say no or they say it was an accident, that's no problem. Okay, so I automatically, those people are looking through your stories for a reason. So they're intrigued in what you're doing. So I automatically add that person to one of those folders. So whether it's a potential customer or a potential distributor. So I'm going to continue to engage on them because you're watching they're watching your stories. So they are intrigued with whatever it is you're doing. So you can message 10 people who have viewed your stories. You can message 10 people who have taken part in your poll. And then of course, HAP is host to post. We'll review that in just a few seconds. Message 20 people about the opportunity. Use your likes and comments from your stories or your host posts. So when I'm messaging people about the opportunity, these are truly people that I want to work with. So if I'm looking through my stories and I'm seeing who's viewing them, I will message people and I'll just say something like, thank you so much. Actually, let's see if I might have something for you guys here in front of me. Maybe I don't. That's okay. I just say something like, hey, I noticed that you've been watching my stories. I was curious if you're interested at all in what I do. I keep it very, very simple, so it's not flooding someone with a ton of information. And then that way you can also get into conversation back and forth. So that's how I do that. If someone is liking a post that I'm making that even has nothing to do with the business, it might just be lifestyle, I send them a message and I just say, hey, thanks so much. You're always like giving me the love on my post. I was curious. Are you curious at all about what I do? Like, would you like some more information? So they'll respond with, no, I'm just supporting you. No, I love your post, whatever. Or maybe they do want info. You never know. And you don't want to wait for people to reach out to you all the time because you just never know who you're missing. And conference in January, someone shared, if you're not going to offer the business to somebody, I'm going to offer the business to them and they're going to become my distributor. So you never want to leave it on the table for somebody else to take your potential. And it happens because you never know who knows who. So it happens. Add a minimum of 25 new friends on Instagram and Facebook every single day. So there's a few ways to do this. And I know it says, or from HAP, which is host to post again, which we'll review shortly. But I do this outside of host to post, which again, I'll talk about in a minute. So I'll leave that. So the way I like to add people is I will go to my current friends and I will go to their friends list sometimes, and then I'll add people from their friends list sometimes again. But what I like to do is go to that person's profile and see who is liking and commenting on those posts. And I'm very picky with the posts that they're liking and commenting on. If it's negative, if it's super political drama, because I avoid politics on my pages just because, I don't know, I heard a Michael Jordan quote once, and I'm in Canada, so it's like not Democrat, Republican, but I heard him say once, I don't talk about politics because Democrats buy shoes and so do Republicans. I feel the same about my business. I want everybody in my business, not everybody, I don't want negative people in my business, but I want everybody to feel comfortable to come to me to purchase products. So I keep politics out of my business entirely. So when I'm going to people's pages, what I'm doing is being very picky about the post that is up on their wall, and then I'm adding people who are liking and commenting. So I'll do that to 5 to 10 people of my friends list, and I will add about 5 or so from each of theirs. And I'll do that on Facebook and I'll do that on Instagram. So very simple, easy to do. It's kind of mindless tasks. You can do it while you're watching Netflix, going to the bathroom. I don't care what you're doing. You can just do that very easily. And okay, so post stories on Instagram and Facebook about coffee samples. So if you're in the USA, you have the sample app. I'm in Canada. So USA is the only place that has the sample app, and you can sell samples of the Skinny Brew or of the Skinny Brew or Sleepy Tea, I believe is the 2 options. Sorry guys, I'm not super familiar with it. Ask your upline about how to sell samples if I'm not making sense here. But what I'll do is whatever products I have on hand, I'll offer for samples, and I always make quick cash off of them. So you're never wanting to give samples for free because you're paying for your product. You're not getting product for free and people are taking from your stash. So I will sell 1 packet of coffee for $5. Something that I like to do is 2 packets of coffee for $15. That includes your shipping because that's easy to do. And something that I did, and if you guys want to message me after if you like what this looks like, but what I do for mailing out my samples, I ordered these cute little baggies off of Amazon. They're just super skinny plastic baggies. And then I got these really cute little cards. One side says, thank you for supporting my small business, and the other side is blank. So I just say, thank you so much with their name. I just write it down with a marker, drop it in and send it out. And these people have just been loving it. They've been turning into customers. So make sure if you're giving out samples, you're writing down the person's name so that you can follow up with them, see how they enjoyed those samples, because they're going to likely become customers or they're going to have more questions. So don't feel like you have to stick to just coffee or stick to just tea. I like to do hot chocolate combos where I put the keto coffee and chocolate greens. I know Rachel's in Australia, which they only have berry greens, but berry greens is delicious. I send out berry greens all the time. There's all different kinds of samples. So you guys get familiar with whatever market you're in, whatever you have to offer, and then whatever's in your stash, and you can sell that. Okay, and then lastly is post 10 host to post, 6 out of 7 days per week. So the reason why we say 6 out of 7, we encourage you guys to take a day off completely from social media or working your business or whatever the case is. We don't want you to get burnt out. Oh, I'm seeing, 1 second. I want to make sure. Oh, yes, so good. Hopefully it comes to you soon, Rachel. Those are awesome products. Now with the 6 out of 7 days, so 10 host to post a day, that's 60 host to post a week, which is amazing because that brings in unlimited potentials. Now you're going to have days where your host to post don't take off. They don't get any comments. They don't get any likes, but the next day you never know, which is why you just don't want to take it off. I had a point where I had a few days where not a single host post had a comment or a like. It feels really discouraging, but you also have to remind yourself, you just never know when someone's going to say yes. And then the next day I'll get 3, 4, 5 customers. So you just never know. And what is host to post? So if you're not familiar with it, we have tons and tons of training on it. If you need more training, message your upline. But what it is just asking someone to share a post for you. So that might be about products. So I personally love to do the cleanse post. And your upline might like something else, like in Canada, we don't have gummies, we don't have skinny brew, things like that. So we switch it up wherever we're at. So I'll do one about the cleanse. I love the cleanse because the cleanse is a really easy upsell. Because if you're talking to somebody about a detox cleanse, they're guaranteed to be interested in weight loss. And cleanse isn't going to provide you necessarily with weight loss, but it's going to get your gut cleansed out and get you ready for weight loss. So then you can upsell to products that are going to help them with their goals, like TFX, or if you're in the US, you can do gummies or skinny coffee or keto tea or carb control, whatever the case is. You can start having fun with your products. You can have fun with pairing it and really helping out your customers. So I'll get someone to share a post about the cleanse, or I'll get someone to share a post about the business. I don't do that as much, and I'll tell you why in a second. And then lastly, I'll get people to share about the giveaway because that brings in a ton of new potentials. So anytime somebody comments on a host to post that they're interested in either the product or they're interested in entering the giveaway, you want to make sure you're adding all those people. I'm not going to get into training you how to do host to post. Again, I know there's so much training out there, so make sure to ask your upline. But this is almost like a referral system, and it's the #1 way that I enroll. It's how I enroll every single month. And the reason why I don't get people to do a host to post for me about the business is because if someone posts for me about products or about the giveaway and it does really well, and I mean like 2 comments plus, I'm going to message them and I'm going to thank them the next day. I'm going to say, thank you so much for sharing that post for me. It did so well. You have a market that's really interested in what it is that I'm offering. Is this something that you've ever thought about doing? So you're just keeping it very relaxed, and you're always asking someone, is this something you've ever thought about doing? Could you use an extra income, whatever it is? And they're going to say yes, they're going to say no. But the point is, you're planting a seed. I have girls on my team. I have a double diamond on my team who was a customer, and I asked her to be on my team and she said no thanks, that's like not my thing. And she kept saying no and kept saying no. I did not let off because I truly thought she was going to do amazing. She joined me 7 months later, 6 months later, and she's my double diamond. She went double diamond in, I think, less than 2 years. She did it very quickly. So yeah, that is my training for you guys tonight. If you need this task list, what I'll do is I will post it with the recording once I get that up, but I don't see any questions in the chat. So again, if you do have questions, just message your upline directly and they will be happy to point you in the direction of whatever it is that you need. But I hope this was helpful for you tonight, you guys. So thank you so much for hopping on. And yeah, we'll see you all again soon. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.